Hey folks, welcome back to Battle Mode channel. This is Armageddon Empires, and yeah, this is a game that I've been playing for years. I've had this for, I think I probably picked it up in about 2013. Yeah, that would have been it. 2012, 2013. Yeah, the game was already probably about 4 or 5 years old at that point. And but anyway, this game was actually recommended by somebody in the comments. They said to me that they'd like me to have a look at this game, and I've actually tried to make a series for this game several times, and I've always been, the problem I've had has been either stuff to do with my camera, or yeah, it was camera problems basically. Like my camera, I've got this really annoying camera that sometimes just runs out of battery even though it's plugged in all the time. And yeah, kind of, so I got halfway through the series and there was a big gap here and it just looked terrible. And anyway, what is Armageddon Empires? It's a game that I keep trying to record a series for. This is going to be the 4th time I've tried to record this, and yeah, like I say, I just seem to have really bad luck with it. So let's hope that this one works. It is a game by Cryptic Comet, a developer named Vic Davies. He went on to become a board game designer. He's also responsible for a very excellent multiplayer game called Solium Infernum. I think that's how you say it. This game is a post-apocalyptic 4X presented as a tile-based card, kind of card-based board game, I guess. Board game. It has decks that you build. So you build these decks of cards, for, and each faction has its own set of cards. So you've got things like infantry, you've got tanks, aircraft, certain vehicle types, and then you've got things like tiles as well that you can lay down. And this is how you kind of build your forces. There are four different factions, and there's kind of a story to it. So basically, it's set on Earth. An alien invasion kind of happened, but well, it wasn't really an alien invasion. There were two forces that were fighting: the Machine Empire and the Xenopods. And they're these. One is, you know, obviously an AI kind of faction, and the other one is a biogenetic kind of faction, like sort of xenomorphs. And Earth became kind of caught up in their galactic conflict. So these two factions came down to Earth, trashed the whole place, killed off like most people on Earth very fast. And then the war moved off into other areas of the galaxy, and you know, Earth was sort of forgotten about. There are still some survivors from all three factions. The Earth people have kind of made some sort of resurgence, and we've now got this thing called the Empire of Man. And there's also a 4th faction, which is mutants that were evolved from the humans and the native life by the alien faction, I think, in order to, you know, be sort of weapons, but they kind of form their own faction. So yeah, you've got these 4 factions. And yeah, I'm gonna have a look at this game. So I'm not going to go into the deck creation this time. I think the best way to play this game is, if you're a new player, is probably just to play with the starting decks, because the starting decks are actually quite manageable. So let's go to new game. I'm not going to play an Iron Man. Do not play an Iron Man on the first go. Imperial starter deck. So yeah, I'm going to play with the Empire of Man for the first one. I tend to generally play with machines, but they're all fun. The only one I don't really know that well is the mutants. I've got to be honest. I haven't really played with them a whole lot. They kind of play a little differently, but these guys are a sort of a good sort of all-round faction, I'd say. Okay, and we have a maximum number of card points. This basically determines the size of the game. You've also got a map size as well. I'm just going to leave it on normal, and we're going to have 2 opponents in this game. So I'm just going to put them both on random, and we'll get either Machine Empire, Xenopods, or 3 mutants, 2 of. Maximum tile points is something we'll look at later. We'll leave resources uncommon and specials uncommon. I'm not going to enable Cults of the Wasteland. That was a kind of free LC that you added to the game later on. I'll leave that. Okay, so the game is played out on this hex map, and everything, all the randomized side of the game is resolved using dice rolls, and these are actually coin flips. Actually, there's like, you know, they're either you know, heads or tails, I suppose, and then so they're called die, but they're just 2-sided die. And at the start of the game, it's asking us to roll a dice just to see who gets the to lay the tiles first. So I got 5. Oh yeah, and obviously if you get a tie, it's re-rolled. It's a bit of a clunky system. And some people don't like it. I don't mind it. It doesn't really bother me. Sometimes it can go on for a while though when there's lots of ties. It's yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Okay, so we get to play second. Free Mutants go first, and the Machine Empire go last. So let's go to lay tiles. The AI is just doing its thing. Okay, so we can actually, we've only got one tile in this deck. This is the staging area, and this is where we get to put our first, our first city. So, and these are resource costs up here at the top, or sorry, these are resources that this will generate. Sorry, when they're exploited. I think what I'm going to do is for this game, there's something to be said about keeping it back in a small map. So, yeah, I don't want it to be found that easily. I think I'm going to put it here. Okay, and then we go set tile. Okay, you may now drag your stronghold card onto a tile that you place on the map. So we've got the Imperial Palace. This is the card that comes with this deck for your main stronghold. We'll look at that in a moment. And then we'll go to start game. Okay, so it's going to create the game map, and what it does is it places a bunch of tiles down. Okay. Gosh, this music sounds very, very, very quiet. So I am just going to... I think I've dropped the volume down a little bit too far. You'll have to give me some feedback on that when you get it. Okay, so we're going to buy initiative dice. Okay, so every turn you roll for initiative, and you can spend some of the 4 resources that you get in order to give yourself more dice. Look, so if you click on these, you can actually give yourself more initiative dice. You don't want to do this at the start, by the way. The reason why you want to win the initiative is if you get more action points. Okay, so we got first anyway. We were lucky there. So you'll see this AP here. We got 12 action points for being first. And then this player 2 gets 8 and player 3 gets 6. So you'll see that if you really want to win the initiative, if you can, providing that you're going to be able to use all those action points. So we can get to start our turn. You'll see here now that we've got this map. And the way that the map works is... You'll see that there are different colours surrounding these hexes, and this is kind of like the hex, the movement value or the action point value that it costs to move through. We just move the hands a sec. So you'll see that we started on this staging area here, and you've got 3 different colours. You've got this kind of like greenish colour. This means there's just 1 action point to move through these. The reddish ones are 2 action points, and the dark one here, like the sort of dark brown, kind of almost black, dark greeny black, this is 3 action points. And usually they're quite visible as to which are which, so you can kind of see at a glance which is going to be easiest to move into. Here's the hands that we get dealt from our cards. So what happens is your deck of hands, your deck is shuffled at the start of the game, and then you get a hand dealt to you at the start. You can pay action points to draw a few more cards. We'll do that in a moment. I'm just going to go to the players, and I'm going to show you a few bits and pieces that's interesting. So, because this is a good way of kind of explaining some of the rules in the game. By the way, this is quite a complex game. It's way more complex than it looks. How complex is it? It's more complicated. It's complex for a board game. I think it's more complex than most board games, but it's not as complex as like Shadow Empire or something. By the way, it does have some some thematic kind of similarity to Shadow Empire, but it really plays nothing like it. This is a very, very unique game. There's nothing really like this. Okay, supply range 4 for the Empire of Man. By the way, all of these different factions have different numbers. So we're actually going up against the Machine Empire and the Free Mutants in this one. So you'll see here, we get 4 supply range, which means that we can go up to 4 tiles out from where we've got supply, basically. So yeah, let me just click on this and this will show you the supply range look. So we get 1, 2, 3. Move up here a little bit. Okay, so you'll see here we can go 1, 2, 3. And this is the supply range that direction. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 out this way because there's clearly no level 2s. To go, look, in order to go this way, we'd have to get to this tile, we have to go either 1, 2, 3, 4, or we have to go 1, 2 to get into this 2 tile, 3, 4. Okay, that's how supply works. If your units are out of supply, they can't fight very effectively. They're really, really bad, basically. So supply is dead important. Maximum cards in hand means we can have 8 cards. The base command rate means that this is, unless we've got a leader card, then the biggest the most units or the most cards we can have in an army would be 3. Here's some action point costs for doing various things like creating armies and transferring units. These are all got different, by the way. They're all different, look. So Empire of Man has actually got a base command rate of 3. This is really good. Whereas Machine Empire and Free Mutants can only control 2 cards unless they've got a commander in. So you'll see that there are some small differences, at least just in the the base rules that they use. Okay, and then there's some other stuff like how many bases you got, your number of armies, etc, etc. I'll let you look at these. Just before we start, I'll also look at the resources that we have to control. So let's just close this map. We've got action points, which I've explained before. These are generated depending on how much initiative you got at the start of the turn. You've got humans. This is like a literal human resource. So there are pockets of people still, hiding out in the desert, and you can find them, and you use them for, building troops essentially. Some of the other factions you'll use them for fuel as well. So the Machine Empire can use them to create drones, and I think some of the other factions can use them mostly for either recruitment or as a kind of fuel that they can use. You've also got materials. This one's like represents things like steel and all that kind of stuff. Then you've got energy, and then you've got technology, and all of these can be utilized as a kind of resource to generate action points or in playing cards. And you'll see that all of these cards have got a point cost associated. I'm not going to be able to play any of these cards, as you can see on this turn. Okay, I don't want this episode to go on to be too long for the first episode, so let's just keep going. So we've actually got 12 action points. I'm just going to, this is our Imperial Palace, and we can upgrade it, as you can see here. Now we're not able to do that quite yet. Here's where our armies are garrisons and any armies that we've created. Now we've won action points here, but we can't really play anything because we don't have enough resources. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a couple of armies. So I'm going to have Recce 1, because we're likely to want at least 2 reconnaissance groups. Recce 2, and I'm going to create Alpha Force. Okay, and that's just going to be a base army. Now we've got 3 action points left. We'll use those to draw some cards. You don't want to have too many cards in your hand. The reason being is because you can actually find stuff to pick up on the desert as well. And if you've got too many hands in your cards, then you have to discard them into the discard pile. Once something goes into the discard pile, it's gone forever. So the game it can turn into a bit of a war of attrition, where you're trying to, like chew your way through the enemy's cards in order to, so he's really got nothing left to play. Alright, so now you see here that we've actually, it's this number 4 means we've got four groups here. Now you actually have to use action points to create them. That's why I've used these action points up this turn. We weren't going to be able to really do much with them anyway. I'm also going to draw another card, so okay, and that's used all our action points this turn, so I'm going to end the turn. Alright, now we've started accumulating resources. We're actually getting 1 of each type every turn because of the staging area that we've got, and I'm not going to bother putting any into the initiative. As I said, initiative's not that important at the start, and I've been lucky. I've come first in 2 rounds in a row. Okay, so we've got a leader card here. This is a hero. This is a general. This guy will be good for leading an army. We've also got some artillery. We've got another hero. This one's a researcher, but we don't have a research area yet, so he's not going to be that much use. Although he can create technology cards. We'll talk about that later. There is this MOBVV Panther. This is a tank. It's a piece of armor. Now this might be worth playing just to get something into our base, because right at the start of the game, our opponents, I'm not sure where they're going to be, but one's going to be kind of on this sort of side, and one's going to be either here on this side or on here. Now they are going to be instantly moving out. They play by the same rules, I believe. This is one of those, I don't know if quite how the AI works. I don't know if it, for example, most AIs in games like this would probably have vision over the whole map. I don't know if that's how this works. I honestly forget. As far as I can tell, the AI seems to play to the same rules as the player. There is obviously a knock-on effect here, which is sometimes the AI seems quite competent, and other times it, you can kind of like win relatively easily. That's one of the criticisms I've got of this game. In order to make it difficult, the best way to make it difficult really is to limit the cards that you're using. So, you know, make sure that you're playing with a kind of a relatively weak force if you want the game to be really difficult. That said, the game can be surprisingly difficult sometimes, and if you don't put a troop unit down straight away, you can often find that the AI will just wander into your base, and if you're not guarding your base, if even a recon unit moves in, it will destroy it. So you've got to guard things at all times. So let's get this Panther Assault thing down. And we're just going to get that into the garrison, and you'll see that it's in this garrison army here. So now we are protected from being attacked. I am going to play another card. We've got some Imperial Grenadiers this time. So, and then we've got 5 action points left. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more army. So we'll just call it Bravo Force. Just so we're not wasting these action points, because we don't really want to be wasting them later on in the game. And you can't take your action points with you. Round 3. Okay, I came second this time with only 8 action points. Okay, so again, I'm just waiting to get some more resources. So if we go back to players, this is the resource income per turn, and you'll see that we've got 1111. It won't show our enemies resources at all, so you don't know what they've got. But yeah, you can actually explore out and find more. And we can also, I think, on this, yeah, we can upgrade this. We can upgrade this building so it's got more slots. We can also, once we've got a commander down here, we can start exploiting some of the extra resources that are there. But I think at the moment this might actually just be exploiting all that are here already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 8. So I'm just going to roll the turn because I don't think we can do much more. I forget where you see how many cards you got in your hand. Players. Where are we? Max cards 8. Yeah, oh yeah, there we are. Look, it's here. Look, 8 cards. So we've actually got the maximum number of cards, so we don't want to draw any more. So let's just roll the turn on, and then we're going to keep saving our resources. Okay, I came second again. Now, I'm tempted to play one of these character cards down, so that I think I can exploit these. Yeah, so this Imperial Paris already gives us one of each resource. I think this means that we can exploit more. Now, I might be getting confused with the later with the bigger tiles, but let's get this guy down anyway. Yeah, I want a commander, I think. So let's get Vladimir Kost. He is a general hero. He's got a command rate of 8, which means we can have 8 units in the, you know, including himself. He's going to have a full stack of 9 cards. He's a leader, so he increases army's movement rate by 2 points, which is really good. And he's aggressive, so he gets extra initiative during battles. And he's a tactical genius, which means tactical cards don't cost action points to play during ground combat. That's good. He's going to be a good guy who's decent for later. What I like about this game is it doesn't really give you much exposition into what's going on. It just gives you these wonderfully drawn cards, and there's loads of them, by the way. The artwork for this game must cost a fortune, honestly, because the art's quite consistent right through. I think it's great. It's like really, this was a work of art, this game, man, I tell you. Okay, let's get this guy down into Alpha Force. If I right click on him, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I might have to bring him out. Yeah, okay, so that's actually costing me points. I'm trying to remember how I do this now. Yeah, I don't think I can actually upgrade anymore. It's been a while since I've played it with on this base level. Normally, when I start, I'm able to kind of upgrade the amount of resources we get. I think the best thing we can do now is just to get some cards, get some recon out. So I might try to... No, I'm not going to spend any yet. Looks like the AI had the same idea, by the way. And we've come first anyway. Okay, let's get this Grom in. And with the extra action points, I think what I am going to do is I'm going to get this guy down into Alpha Force, and we'll get the Panther out as well. And then we're going to move these guys. So you right click on this, and then you click on the Alpha Force here. And then you can see that you can move, look. And this is telling us everywhere that we can go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and pick up the... Oh, we found something. Okay, what do we got? Oh, we got a bunch of cannibals. Okay, look at these guys. They're like zombies. So, yeah, we're going to have to fight these because So, I think we'll be able to beat these. Anyway, this is the battle screen. This is our side of the battle, and this is the enemies. And you've got two ranks basically. This is the rear rank where you put things like artillery and snipers and that kind of thing. And then you know your front ranks are here, and each unit has a range that they can attack. Anyway, let's just get through it, and I'll show you. So this is the round initiative. Now we got an attack bonus, so we're going to go first. We won because this guy, he's already got an initiative bonus. They don't get anything because they haven't got any. No, they're just kind of crap. So these have got. Just remind myself how this works. I think this is 3 attack. I'm gonna have to remind myself of this, exactly what these numbers mean. God, you know what? What's annoying is, like, because this is the 4th time I've recorded this series, I went and read the manual a couple of times before and researched it all. Now I can't remember. I'm such an idiot. At the bottom here, this here is their hit points. I know that. I think this is their attack power. I think this is their defense dice. So you got attack dice, defense dice. I think this one is resistance. So resistance guards against things like kind of special cards, which I'll show you later. And then you've got movement here, and this one is attack range, I think. So I think this means that you can put this panther in the back row. Anyway, so let's attack. Yeah, no, so look, this is, I was correct. So we've got 5 attack dice against the cannibals 4. So let's just roll the dice here. Oh, okay, we missed. Now we can spend face points if we want to try to increase our chances of victory. So for every fate point we spend, we get an extra dice roll. I'm not going to do this. I'd rather do that if we actually get damaged. So these guys have got 3 attack dice versus our 5 defense. Okay, so they failed there. Okay. And the other cannibal is group of cannibals is going to attack. Okay, so we defended. I think we'll be okay in this combat. Let's start the round. So I'm going to get these guys, right click, and I'm going to attack here. So yeah, 5 dice against their 4. Oh, so bad. Okay. They got 1, we got 3. Okay, so afterwards it gives you like a little assessment of what damage was done, but nobody's done any damage yet. Okay, again we managed to defend. So look, he got 2 attack dice, but we got 3 defense. I hope it's clear what's going on with this combat. Now these like when you got combat with just a few units, sometimes it can feel a little bit laborious. Okay, there we go. Look, so we actually did 2 damage. They didn't get any chance to add any fate points to their dice because they don't have a commander. So anyway, okay, so this one with 1 hit point is going to attack, and they missed us. And the other one's going to attack us. Okay, they missed us too. We've been quite lucky here. So start round, and we're going to attack the same one that we attacked before, so we should be able to kill it. There we go, look. We got 4 here. There was no way they could defend against this, so they're destroyed. And now they're just attacking with the last one. Okay, we defended. I don't think we'll take any hits here unless we're really, really unlucky. Let's use the assault. That basically doubles up our... We can add 5 to our attack dice, basically, but then we're committed for an additional round. So we'll see if we can kill it off in this one go. Yeah, I think we've done it. So... There we go, we did 4 damage, target was destroyed. And yeah, we win, we are victorious. So we've now found this abandoned town, and look, we've actually got here we right click on this guy, yeah, there we go, look. Now what we need is 3 action points and a few resources, and we can actually exploit this extra materials. This is a real 4X game, and no mistake, because it's got the whole explore, exploit, expand, exterminate thing going on. This is the only computerized 4X board game I know, I think. I might be wrong there. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Let's draw another card. Okay, so we've got another commander here. He's a scout. Okay, so he's going to be useful later. Let's just... Oh, these guys are starting to commit now, look. Although we still won, unfortunately for them. So, yeah, let's go to Alpha Force. Okay, now... Vladimir cost, he can actually build a materials team here. So it's going to cost 3 action points, and the resource cost is here. Look, it costs everything except technology. So we click on that, and we've built a little materials team here. So this is like, you know, it looks like a camp that's been set up in, you know, in a scrapyard essentially. So these guys are going to be giving us 1 more materials per turn. You'll see this is now reflected in the resource income per turn indicator here. All right, Vladimir Kost probably can't move now. Oh no, he can still move. So we can spend 2 action points doing that. Let's get this guy. Ooh. Your army has discovered a weapons cache. You may choose to claim it, remain and observe it, or continue moving. Let's claim it, I think. After opening the sealed doors with explosives, you discover a small armory. We found a fuel air bomb. Oh, okay. Let's take that then. This is why you don't want to have a full hand, by the way, all the time, because if you find stuff that's useful, then you might have to get rid of it. This is going to be attached to an aircraft later on. The only problem is with finding these early is that it kind of, yeah, it just takes a spot in your, it takes a slot in your cards. Now if we start moving around and we find something else, then yeah, we might have to discard a card. So just be a little bit careful about rapid expansion. This game is really, really carefully balanced, I think. I think I'm going to end the turn now. I don't think there's much more we can do. Okay. Let's go again. I want to build up some resources. I don't want to be spending them in. Okay, we came third that time. That's the first time we've actually come last. Okay, so we still need a few more of these resources in order to be able to build anything. Let's move Alpha Force out. Okay, so if you can see, every time when you've explored something now, not only will it be shown on the minimap here, but also it shows you the name of the tile. So once it's explored, you know, you've got the name of the tile. It kind of shows you at a glance where you've explored and where you've not. We've got 4 action points left. Again, we can't do much, so let's just go to the end turn. And yeah, I'm not going to spend any. Look, wow, the Machine Empire really wanted to get these. He spent like an extra 3. The reason why they might do that is some of the bigger cards, some of the higher tier cards, let's say, often have quite a high action point cost in order to play them, which represents the, you know, the kind of bureaucratic and industrial clout that you need in order to be able to, you know, bring something like a huge tank out or a big walker. Okay, we came second. Okay, so we can get through some more units now. So you can also put down a research lab. Now this facility collects 1 tech resource per turn. So I think it's worth putting this down actually. So there we go, we're going to play that. And that's actually going to give us more resources. So we just go to players. Oh, hold on. Ah, I might have made a mistake here. Yeah, maybe I have, because yeah, it collects 1 tech resource. We're already collecting it. We didn't actually go up 1. That was a bit dumb of me. However, we can upgrade this. So I think that by upgrading this, it gives us more. I forget now exactly quite how it works. Let's move these guys just down here. We need to remember just to keep them in supply. What was it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we should still be in supply here. Yeah, we are. Okay. So I'm just, at the moment, I'm just exploring these cards, these tiles, just seeing what we can find here. Let's have a look at our hand. We've got 7 cards. I think I'm going to wait 1 more turn and get another military unit out before I get any of these commanders out. So let's just wait. Yeah, I thought I'd come last then. Okay, so we get to move last in this turn. Let's draw a card. This guy costs 2 to move. I'm just gonna... Oh! Oh, we've captured an enemy base. A Trident submarine. 1 energy and 1 technology. Interesting. Okay, right. This is interesting because this now will increase our supply range. Look. Can you see that? Actually increased our supply range out. So before we weren't getting anywhere near that. Right, so we've actually captured another base, which is really, really nice. By the way, if you're wondering that this whole interface looks a little bit clunky, it is. I think this game was made in Flash. I think it's a Flash game. It's either Flash or some kind of like something really bizarre, like some old Microsoft thing. I forget what it is now. I'll have to Google it for the next episode. But yeah, it's made in a really old engine that most people don't even use for gaming. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, so Vladimir costs Alpha Force. has actually stumbled into this base. And this is great because it's resupplied him, because he was actually going to be out of supply here. So we probably want to exploit this if we can. I don't know if he can do that here. No, I don't think so. Now, events. So just have a look at... Yeah, okay, so we're now getting two resource income per turn, look, because we're actually getting some for these as well, for this. Yeah, look, this is generating 1 energy and 1 technology, and we're already getting an extra materials from this, so we're actually getting 2 per turn for everything except human resources. Alright guys, before I carry on, I'm going to end the turn, so let's just get down. I might actually put one of these technologist characters down here, just so that we've freed up a space, and I might draw another card. Okay, we've got another character. We're drawing lots of leaders. This is one of the things about you know, a kind of card-based game. By the way, even though this looks like a collectible card game, do not worry. If you buy this game, you get all the cards and all the DLCs and everything. There's just, you know, it's a cheap game. The DLCs were always free as far as I remember. I think Cults of the Wasteland was free as well. Basically, you just make 1 payment and you get the whole game. Nothing else. That's it. It's all done. You don't need to buy any cards or any of that crap. So yeah, this game is available on Steam. It's really, really cool. I'm actually not playing on Steam. I'm playing my old version. I don't think you can buy it from his site at the moment, from Cryptic Comet site, or if you can, I seem to remember that the application he used for buying everything was actually down, but you can buy it on Steam anyway. So yeah, go and check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments of Armageddon Empires. I'm going to continue this Let's Play, and yeah, so I'll catch you in the next episode. See you later.